Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful start to your 2025. If it's your first time here, my name's Robin and I am an artist. We are in my bedroom today to talk about New Year's resolutions for 2025. So grab a drink, get cozy, and let's do it. I absolutely love New Year's resolutions. I get so excited to plan and to make goals, and I usually make a list of like 1,000 things that I want to do that year. But I have to be honest that usually I make all these goals and by mid-January I've forgotten about them all. It's like I enjoy the making of the resolutions but not the doing of the resolutions. So before we talk about this year's resolutions, I want to briefly talk about where I've gone wrong in the past. I did a really in-depth video a few years ago, I think it was 2022, about my goals for that year. I was very giddy and very optimistic, but most of those goals did not happen for a variety of reasons. I realised that writing a long list of goals and then not looking at the list again for the rest of the year is not the best way for me to achieve my goals. Like, quantifying the goals is step one, yes, but there's so much more that goes into making something happen than just writing it down and forgetting about it. But the biggest reason by far why I failed many of my resolutions is that I wasn't prioritizing my stuff, like the stuff and things that I want to do. So this year I'm really trying to put myself first. Thinking back to that video, it feels more like it was a brain dump of everything I could think of that I would like to do eventually. So I still think that it was good for me to do, but this year I think I'm a lot more organised mentally, and I think I know myself better and understand the kind of systems that I need to have in place to get things done. I know that New Year is just an arbitrary date in the calendar, so I've tried to shift my mentality from it's all or nothing to just do something. This year my focus is less on things that I want to tick off and more on steering myself in a positive direction. Like I really asked myself this year, how do I want to feel? I want to feel strong, determined, healthy, happy, relaxed, hydrated. It's actually quite scary to do this kind of video again because I am aware that I have a history on this channel of saying that I'm going to do things and then not doing them, which kind of makes me feel like I have no reliability. Like, why should you believe me this year when last time I failed? But I know that the only way to build dependability on myself is to keep showing up, keep trying, just to do one thing at a time and to kind of build this momentum so that I can look back and kind of prove to myself that I can follow through on doing the things that I tell myself that I'm going to do. So without further ado, here is what I'm doing in 2025 to make myself a healthier, happier, more productive artist. Paper planning. So let's jump right in. I've gone back to using a paper planner for the first time in a long time. I used to have a paper planner when I was at uni and I kind of used it on and off, but it didn't really stick for me. And after I graduated, I went through quite a deep declutter and cleanse of physical stuff and things, and I moved everything digital, including my organisation. That did work for me for a while, but honestly, I find the digital space so distracting now that I find it really hard to remember what I'm supposed to be doing as soon as I sit down at a screen. So I'm really trying to cement the act of sitting down with my planner as the start of my workday. It's nice as well that I can use a paper planner anywhere. I don't have to be sat at a desk, which is obviously good. I am still using my digital planner for things like video planning and tracking things, but for my day-to-day planning and tasks, I'm now using a paper planner. So I have the Leuchtturm, I think I'm saying that right, weekly planner and dotted notebook. So on one side it has space for each day in the week that you can put your tasks on, and then on the other side it has a dotted page so you can put whatever you like on the other page. To be honest, I have no idea how to use a paper planner really, so I'm just figuring it out week by week as I go, but if you have any ideas of how you would use the dotted side of the spread, let me know. In the planner there's this project plan view, which I thought would be ideal for habit tracking. It's quite nice because there's only 5 slots, so I can't go overboard trying to track every single thing that I want to do regularly. So I chose exercise, reading, writing, drawing, and social media as my 5 things that I'm gonna track this year. I'm excited as well to start designing some stickers to use in this planner, which I plan on selling eventually as well, so that'll be fun. I am quite a visual person, which I guess comes as no surprise being an artist, so I thought it would be quite nice to be able to kind of flick through and see everything that I did this year, because last year, even though I know that I did lots of things, I can't really remember them because I didn't record them. And when I think back, I kind of feel like, oh, like I really didn't do anything last year, even though I know that that's not true. It is a little bit scary because I've gone from having no planners to having 1 diary and 3 notebooks. So it's definitely a 180 from my previous methodology. But so far, and I mean we're only 2 weeks in, but I do think that it's working. Like, I'm using my planner and my notebooks every day, which is a lot more than I was doing before. Spend more time reading. I've been trying to get back into reading regularly for a couple of years now. I do struggle with reading sometimes, and depending on the day, sometimes I have to reread the same section of a book over and over again to try to get it to like go into my head. But there's this quote from this book on acting that I'm reading that says, "You were a reader before you were a writer." And I think that is such a wonderful, even though it's simple, it's such a wonderful quote. I think it's really important for me personally to read books and to do other things that require me to use my imagination, so that when it comes time to making art, I have this kind of pot of mental imagery to work with. I've seen it said that your imagination is like a muscle, so I'm trying to make that muscle nice and strong this year. My resolution is to read 1 book a month, but hopefully I'm going to be able to read more than that. It's getting a little dark, I think. Oh no. As a side note, I struggle to visualize images in my head sometimes, so something that I found really helpful over the last year was guided meditations. My favourite is a channel called The Honest Guys on YouTube. They're all story-based, like you're in a cottage in the snow or on an overnight train, and I found them really useful. They also have the added benefit of making you feel very relaxed and stress-free, so it's one of my favourite things to do is to have a nice hot bath and then listen to one of these guided meditations before going to bed. So that's definitely something that I'm going to carry forward into 2025. Spend more time exploring / doing things. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I want to go see different places. I want to go hiking. I want to go play table tennis somewhere. I want to go on holiday. I want to go to the beach. I want to have fun. I also want to pick up other creative hobbies this year. I really want to get into miniature making this year, and with that, making miniature crochet pieces and miniature knitting. Liam actually got me some crochet supplies for Christmas, so I'm really excited to get started with that. I also got myself some watercolours this year, so that's something that I'm really looking forward to trying. Ugh, so much. Looking after my body. There is a time when my New Year's resolution would have been to lose weight, but that is not where I'm focusing my energy this year. Since 2020, I've been struggling on and off with arm pain, which is due to nerve entrapment, which has been caused by weak back muscles and over-tight pec muscles. Especially towards the end of 2024, I found that as soon as I sat down at my desk to draw, either my arm, my neck, or my shoulder was hurting, which is obviously not good. There are some things that I've done to try and make my desk setup more ergonomic, but honestly, the thing that I have to do is to improve my overall body condition, especially now that I am into my 30s. I actually just yesterday signed up for a swim and gym membership, so I'm gonna really try to work that into my routine regularly. I have to say as well, because I'm so proud of myself for this, when I went yesterday to sign up for the membership, they said that the heating was broken, so the pool was 17 degrees Celsius, which is very, very cold. But for whatever reason, I just really didn't care. Like, I had been looking forward to going for a couple of weeks and I'd already gone, so I just went for it. I jumped in the pool, it was absolutely freezing, but once I started swimming, like, it was fine, you know? And it made warming up in the sauna feel that much nicer because it was like I'd really earned it. So, well done me. Big pat on the back. Oh. Another thing that I need to do is to stretch and to give myself little neck massages and stuff, which is all part of kind of being in tune with my body and keeping healthy so that when I sit down to work, I'm not gonna injure myself by working in pain, because I can't make art if my body is broken. I'm determined to make myself left-hand competent this year. I feel like it's really important for me personally to make me more balanced. I've already started by switching to using my mouse left-handed, but I think it'll definitely take some pressure off my dominant hand. And I'm trying to eat more fruit and veg because aren't we all? Reconnecting with my art. This is such a good one. I've been reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. The internet is filled with people that say this book has changed their lives. And normally I am very skeptical about anything that has that kind of buzz and reputation around it, but I decided to give it a go, being an artist and all. The gist of the book is that it's formulated as a 12-week artist rehab. And the two kind of main pillars of it are that you write a 3-page kind of journal entry every morning and you do a artist date every week. So for the first 12 weeks of 2025, I am going to be reading this book and doing all the work. I picked up a second-hand copy of the book and I got myself 2 notebooks. These are Leuchtturm as well. One is for my daily morning pages and the other one is to do the exercises that are in the textbook in. I am going to do a full review of the book after the 12 weeks is up, but after 1 week so far, I can quietly say that I'm enjoying it and I think it's going to be really interesting. Boundaries. This is such a big one. The first thing is treating my art as a job. A big thing that I realised over the last year was that I was far too lenient when it came to making art, and that led me to prioritising literally anything and everything over sitting down to draw. But I've got to that point where I finally realised that I don't need to please everyone. During my work hours, my priority is working on my art and working on my health, and everything else can wait. It's like I had this goal last year of trying to aim to do a YouTube video fortnightly eventually. And you can hear already how like vague and non-committal that sounds. Like it wasn't a firm thing that I had to do. So I was very flexible about that and it always got pushed aside and never ended up happening. So this year I'm treating art as though it is my job and I have deliverables that I have to deliver. I sat down to think about these and I settled on the following as my deliverables. Get my website live before New Year's. I didn't get it done before New Year's, but it is live now, so go check out my website. Every week I'm gonna do one social media post, like Instagram. Every fortnight I'm gonna post a YouTube video, and it doesn't have to be super polished. And every month I'm gonna do a monthly newsletter / blog post. Quarterly, I'm gonna do a check-in with my resolutions and how things are going, just to see where things are at and how I'm feeling. And that's it. It's not a lot of deliverables really, but somehow that was really hard for me last year, and it's literally because I didn't prioritize any of it. Something that I really kind of turmoiled over was streaming, and I have put streaming on hold indefinitely for now. Because of the issues with my arm mostly, it's very hard for me to say that I have to sit at my desk for this amount of time on these days every week, because sometimes it's just not possible. And also the performative aspect of it made it quite hard for me to relax and just enjoy streaming. I often felt like I wasn't getting much done during the streams because of kind of stress of worrying about, I don't know, just all the things. But I don't want it to be over forever. And eventually what I'm thinking of doing is restarting streams, but just do a monthly critique stream for other people so that I can give feedback to people, which I think would be really useful. Less focus on studying. This one might seem counterintuitive, but I've decided to put less focus on studying this year. I realised that I'd gotten into this mindset of, I can't draw that yet because I'm not good enough to draw that yet. And it meant that I haven't really drawn many of the things that I wanted to draw last year. I watched a video by Psychra that really set off a light bulb for me about this, and I think it's really true for me that studying just leads to more studying. Like, I will never be good enough to start. So now I'm flipping it so that I just start drawing first, and then when I inevitably run into a problem, then I study, rather than trying to study all this stuff first to kind of get ahead of any potential problem I might encounter. Because whatever it is I'm drawing, I am inevitably always going to run into something that needs further research or study. That said, however, a friend of mine recently kindly gifted me a schoolism subscription, so I am actually currently taking some classes on there, but I am coming at it from a healthy perspective rather than forcing myself to do this before I can draw. There's actually some courses on watercolour painting on there as well, so I'm excited to try those out just to give me a kind of head start on watercolour painting, so that'll be fun. And this is my last notebook. This is my new notebook for keeping all my art ideas in, which is nice. So they're all in one place and I can just refer to this if ever I'm lost. So those are my resolutions for this year. I really decided this year that it's not about having the perfect year where every day was a grind or whatever. It's about trying new things, learning and unlearning stuff. It's about resting when I need to and not forcing myself to work when I can't. It's about celebrating the little wins along the way, even if it's something as simple as, I made a scary phone call today. I hope this video has been interesting and that you've found some value and comfort from it. And I just want to say before I go that I think it's important to remember that it's never too late to try to turn things around. You can evaluate how things are going at any point in the year, at any point in your life, and it certainly doesn't have to be on January 1st. Let me know if you've got any resolutions this year. I'm interested to hear what everyone's working on in 2025. But take care, and I will see you soon. Bye!